Hello YouTube, this is Dexter here with a brand new deck profile. Today I'll be bringing you Constellars. This is a deck that I'm just going to be having for a couple of weeks before I get rid of it, but I figured while I have it that I better do a deck profile on it. I think it's going to be pretty good, especially with Star Seraphs out now. They can be easily splashed into the deck and still have access to stuff like Omega. And also the fact I can make Ptolemy, which goes into Pleiades, which this deck can abuse the most. I think that's just great. So yeah, let's get straight into this deck profile. I'm running, of course, 3 Sombre. He's the best one of them, in my opinion. 3 Pollux. Pollux is so good at avoiding traps because no matter what they do, the way his effect works, he avoids them all. 3 Chaos. Chaos is a level modulator, so he allows Pleiades access even with 2 4s, as long as they're Constellar. Aljadi is similar to Chaos, except he special summons an extra instead of giving the lingering effect to normal summon. I think Pollux is far better, but Aljadi is just there for added consistency. So I run all of those at 3. There's other ones like Sheraton and even Siat, which aren't bad, but I think there's better options like Honest and Farfus Bear to use in those places. So yeah, speaking of Honest, I run 2 Honest. Honest is really good because it allows you to play these bigger monsters that would get rid of it with effects, and then when they attack with, say, something that's over 2/5 or whatever, you can Honest on top of it. 1 Thunder King and 1 Farfus Bear. These are just 2 good standalone monsters. This gets rid of dead tankies on the field, and this one just stops searching. It's so good against the meta, especially with so many traps in this deck and a lack of really good Constellar monsters. You can just normal summon this while you get your combo pieces in hand, and usually you can hold games on its own. I run 3 Farfus Tenkies, or Farformation Tenkies. It searches Chaos, and Chaos is the most important combo piece in the deck. Probably not the strongest Constellar monster. I think Sombre is better, but it's definitely an early game combo piece when Sombre isn't accessible. 2 Rhoda. Pollux is really good, but you've access to Aljadi, so I don't really want to run too many ways to open them, so I just decided to run 2. 1 is kind of too few. You do want to search them a lot, but it's mainly Chaos you want to be searching, especially when Aljadi does nearly the same thing, but just a little worse in my opinion. 1 Soul Charge. You guys don't understand how good this card is, because you can make, with this card, you can make 1 card Pleiades plus Omega, and that's just too good, because it gives, the way Omega works is it gives protection to all of the Constellar monsters. So if you make Omega and Pleiades, you've protection plus Pleiades inbuilt balancing ability, so it wins games on its own. You could also make 2 Pleiades if you brought back 2 Chaos, but I prefer Omega Pleiades plays. 1 Book of Moon is just so good this format. It can force effects through, and it's just really good in general. Run 3 Duality. Consistency card. That's really the only reason to run it. It just adds a bit of consistency, and especially with Farfus Bear and Thunder King being able to hold their own, it allows you to draw into your combo pieces for next turn. 1 Regeki, 1 Dark Hole. You want to clear the field for Pleiades plays. It also gets rid of all those big problems, which this deck kind of has a issue dealing with. It's more of a reactive deck. And 2 MST. MST is just for clearing threats, forcing through plays, get rid of Fiendish or whatnot. So good. Yeah, a double Mind Crush is so good this meta. 3 is a bit cloggy, 1's not enough. 1 Solemn Warning, 1 Vandy's Emptiness, 1 Bottomless Trap Hole, 1 Torrential Tribute, 1 Ring Destruction, and 1 Compulsory Evacuation Device. All of those really good traps that are all 1-ofs. This is a trap heavy deck, and really there's no other really good traps to run this format. With Vandy's at 1 and not really any other options, I think these 6 are just kind of staples in any stun control decks, at least generally. I run 3 Fiendish Chain. These are the last 3 cards of the deck. Fiendish Chain just stops those pesky effects, allows you to pretty much stop your opponent from plussing too much. If you hit a Neb or an Altair with it, you can just stop them in their tracks, and that's just too good to pass up. So yeah, onto our extra deck. I run 1 Ptolemy. You only ever really make it once per game. You never really make it more, and there's so much better toolbox options in the deck, especially for rank 4s, because you won't always have the ability to go Chaos, and when you do, you're always going to want to make Pleiades and sometimes Focus Source. So I run 2 Pleiades. You do make this more than once. You can often make it first turns often enough, and then you make it second time off Soul Charge play. I think 3 is too much. You'd much rather have stuff like Exton and that kind of stuff. and run 1 Omega, because you don't make it. I don't make this unless I'm going for the Constellar Pleiades thing, because right now with stuff like Arc and Chain existing, I think there's better options. 1 Durendal and 1 Volcasaurus for the other 5s. In most situations, Terrace is strictly better than, Terrace is strictly worse than Pleiades, so I've opted to go Volcasaurus instead. I don't run Gaia Charger because I think the niche situation doesn't come up too much, and Durandal is just so good, especially when both players are low in resources. And you run Tenkies too. 1 Kangorgan, 1 Gagaga, 1 Abyss Dweller, 1 Castell, 1 Arc, 1 Ragnar Zero, 1 Heartland Draco, 1 Lavalval Chain, and 1 Exton Knight. That's just my rank 4 engine. I make rank 4s quite a lot in this deck. It's either Pleiades or rank 4. Pleiades doesn't usually live long enough when both players have enough resources, if enough to make Ptolemy. So yeah, that's my reason for running a big rank 4 engine, especially when stuff like Bear and Thunder King exist in this deck, and even Honest is used as an exceed material sometimes. So yeah, that's my Constellar deck profile. If you have any questions, or if you like the video, just subscribe, comment, like it if you like, and goodbye. I'm out. Dexter on.